turn.
All right. What'd you order?
Well, they have a Wagyu steak burger. Yeah,
Okay.
I know. So we'll review that in real time as we get started here on another episode of the 1 to 10 podcast. Let's go. What's up, dude? How you doing?
I'm chilling, man. Just off work, happy about it. Can't wait
Yes,
to eat some food.
yes, indeed. I know the feeling.
Bro,
I
plus the United States, it's a great day to be an American.
It really is. Yeah. So date of recording, the U.S. beat Iran to advance in the World Cup. Let's
Did you
go.
hear about what Iran was doing to its players? And I don't know, did you watch the game? Because I was at work and we didn't have it on.
I did not. I was working from home,
Okay.
so I did not have access to watching it.
Are you aware of what they were doing to their players?
No.
So at first, it started out with like bribery gifts, such as cars and stuff like that from the government,
FIFA's
and
corrupt. Yeah,
then
sure, whatever.
it turned into the government of Iran threatening death against those players if they did not quote unquote behave.
Oh, cool.
This was a result of them not singing along with the English and Wales national anthems, and then they were told by their government if they did not behave in the USA game, them and their families would be threatened.
So they did not behave during the game, or did they?
I have no idea. That's the big thing. Like, did the players sing along with the anthem? Like,
I have to review the footage.
yeah, I have no idea.
Somebody check the VODs, bro. Someone check the VODs.
Somebody check the VODs. But yeah, it was Sports Illustrated had a whole article about it. It's like, what?
Damn, that's nuts. Number one, that a major media outlet's like able to report on it like that, and speak very confidently, very easily. The fact that that's a serious thing that's happening, guaranteed. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm just more excited about the W we got. You know what I'm saying, baby? Let's go.
It was even better because one of our players had gotten interviewed by a reporter from Iran.
Okay.
And he loaded the question about, it's like, how can you play for the government that has oppressed African Americans for hundreds of years? Like, a loaded question, blah blah blah. Brought up BLM, and then our player just laughs. Like, he answered very eloquently. I will say that. Like, he was like, every day we make progress in the States, and I can see that. I come from a blended family, yada yada yada. Right? It was very amazing response. But I was just thinking, like, the whole time he was talking, I was like, he could have just ripped this guy a new ass if he wanted.
Wouldn't be as eloquent. Wouldn't be as. I mean, I think it's in a game of like political tactics of interviewing, right? And the media perception to companies, countries rather, but also then companies that are associated with those things. Is it not better to play it cool and just answer in a very sophisticated way?
Always is. So every time.
I don't know. It should be schmop. My answer to that. No. But I'm hyped, man. So who else advanced with our group?
England, I believe.
That's what I thought. Glad to see Wales did not advance. Get fucked, idiots.
Yeah, fucking sheep shaggers is what they are.
But let's talk about this really quick as their departure from the World Cup really quick. They have the coolest flag in the entire world.
Yeah, isn't it like a dragon?
Fuck yeah, it's a dragon.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Just the summation of all natural human fears from a certain point in time.
Yeah, dude. When on Xbox 360, I used to have this Welsh friend, funniest guy on the planet.
Well, yeah, he talks
He's
weird.
Just bitching. Yeah, he talks super weird, but like, he'd be like, they got me. Like, I don't know. It was like weird. It was cool.
That's Scottish, but all right.
All right. Hey, Gippo, if you're listening, hope you're doing well, man.
Shout out that guy.
Yeah. His name was Gippo, bro.
Gippo?
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's any like obscure gaming friends who I used to have that like Well, say Dimitro is like just a character who stuck around,
Yeah.
So there's the ones that stick around that you make internet friends with, and those are like real people who you can attach to and like you end up meeting in real life. But there's also ones that like so there was this dude back in like season 1 of League when I used to play with Dimitro, and he had this dude named Mega Chester, and Mega Chester was like I think his name was, I'm not going to say his full name, but it was something Winchester, I think is where it came from, right?
Dean?
No. Like he has his real
Dean Winchester?
Sure, yeah. Sam as well, his brother.
Yeah, both of them.
But basically, like, this dude one day was just like, "You guys are so not that good, and I'm gonna get better." This blah blah blah. And we're like, "Dude, you're weird." So one day he comes back around a couple months later. He's like, "Yeah, I know. I left and I went and joined other teams and helped and like learn to play other shit and all this stuff. Do you guys want a 5v5?" And we're like, "Okay." We destroyed them. We just it was like season 2 by that point in time too. It was like early league, but we just absolutely crushed them.
Okay.
It was so gross.
My favorite memories of gaming with that guy though is like because of time zone difference. When I would play, it'd be like 1 a.m. his time,
Sure.
and he'd be like, "I have to be so quiet, otherwise." And then you just hear his mom fucking kick open his door and be like, "What? It's a fucking school night," you know what I mean? Because we're the same age.
Yeah. Damn.
So it was cool. Yeah.
That sounds hard. What did you guys play?
It's always funny. I mean, it was the 360 era, so like MW 2, Halo Reach, whatever. He would definitely play. Like he was one of those guys who would always play like whatever AAA garbage came out. Like I'd always see him on a random game and he'd be like, "This is shite. Let's play."
Casual gamer.
Casually.
What was the last AAA title you bought? I know that we talked recently, like God of War Ragnarok's probably the best, like most recent.
Yeah.
But like, what's the last one you bought that was a AAA title that you?
I guess Arceus. I wish I ever bought it.
Yeah, I bought that too, actually.
Never beat it.
I'm ashamed.
So this is an interesting thing I heard, and I kind of agree. Like on the Moist Criticals podcast, the consensus was just like, I hope these games just get so bad to the point where it's like blatant, like because it's obvious right now. Game Freak is not trying; they don't care. They know they're gonna make money no matter what.
They don't have to.
Yeah, like the crazy stat I heard was Nintendo, like the new Pokemon games have outsold God of War by a metric fuck ton, and that's without counting digital sales.
Yeah, I heard
because Nintendo only reports
Pokemon reached 10 million copies like a week ago.
And that's only the box sales. Yeah, Nintendo only reports box sales.
That's crazy,
isn't it? I can't wait till the game gets Game of the Year.
I'm gonna put a gun in my mouth in Minecraft if that happens.
Yeah,
I can't take it, dude. I can't believe that's a sentence we actually have to ponder here and like think about the fact that Pokemon could go up for Game of the Year, because the problem is that there are people who are like,
well, the Game of the Year awards.
No, they're willing to look over all these broken ass bugs that like the game has right now. Like you can there's footage of streamers like throwing a Pokeball at a Pokemon in an area they can't reach yet, but then they now can reach that area because of how the game gets broken by this mechanic. And then they get into a terrestrialized level 65 Garchomp when they have level 17 Pokemon.
I was watching, so you know me, I love watching my Pokemon YouTubers, like watching like the. I think I talked about it before.
Who are your Pokemon YouTubers? Mine's Shofu, number 1.
Shofu's good. I like God, what's his name? Antler Boy. Antler Boy is pretty good. Flygon HQ is pretty good. I like a lot. Pokemon Challenges, amazing. Okay. Probably the best.
I've watched a lot of Wolfie in the past.
Wolfie's good.
I mean, he's a world champion, so.
Yeah, he is.
All right, Borger time from RB. Let's find out.
So there was a Pokemon YouTuber who does like Nuzlocke and specifically like themed Nuzlocke usually. I love Nuzlocke. during his video, he was doing the new ones because that's like the new shit. Yeah. First of all, it's just awful to look at. Like you could tell he tried making it like as good as possible and like keeping the bugs away. Then there's a point where he said he jumped up and landed on a pole wrong on like the riding Pokemon and had to reset the game and lost all of his progress. And then pretty much, I don't even remember because I was watching the video as background noise, but it just never finished. He's like, yep, I lost at this point, and that was it.
Burger good.
Oh, is it good?
Surprisingly.
Tier it for me between like other burgers I would know.
So nowhere near quality of Five Guys.
Okay.
But like definitely better than a Burger King Whopper.
Where would you scale it like with a McDonald's quarter pounder?
Quarter pounder with cheese or a double quarter pounder with cheese? No, I'm just kidding. A single. Quarter pounder with cheese is like a B. I'd say this is like above it slightly. Like
So
a
B
higher,
plus.
yeah, B tier, but like higher up on the B.
Low A, high B.
Let's talk about cheeseburger, fast food, burger draft. Let's go for it,
Oh,
bud. Might as well. We're already here. All right. What? Top three? Top three?
yeah, it has to be three. There's not enough.
All right, you go first.
Well, I'm going to take the Five Guys like bacon cheeseburger.
Fine.
Yeah, it's the best.
Wrong.
Okay, let me hear it.
We'll take the Wendy's Son of Baconator.
Oh, fuck, dude, I forgot.
Not the
about
full size Baconator, but the Son of Baconator, the smaller burger. That's actually a palatable thing.
that. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll say it.
I mean, these are gonna be basic now, though. It's like, cause I'm gonna give it to the quarter pounder with cheese.
What are you doing?
Wait. What do you mean? That's a solid choice.
You've left me to get every burger I want at this point. My number 2
Okay.
draft pick is the double cheese from Freddy's.
Bro, you're
Freddy's
cooking me.
is so underrated for
You're
burgers.
fucking
Unreal
cooking me right
underrated,
now.
dude. I'm not even joking you. The problem with that restaurant is the fries suck dick without the fry sauce, straight up. And
Yeah.
if you ask for fry sauce and they forget to give it to you, if you go through drive-through, you're just like, your meal's not as good. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's good for the burger too. But I did have to have the experience of a burger recently from Freddy's without the fry sauce,
Mm-hmm.
and I was pleasantly surprised. It was a
Okay.
good burger.
Man. All right, so my number 3, I'm like contemplating between two. Fuck it. Give me them White Castles.
I have a sleeper third that you're not even gonna know about.
All right.
Well, you probably know about it, but it's not like the first thought you have. A&W.
Oh shit. Is there even are those even still a thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's one in town.
Okay.
It's over by like Elm.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. But it's there.
All
It's
right.
quite good.
Hey, good
And
draft.
Arby's did not make the draft either way.
It did not make it either way. You
But I would
cooked
say
me,
the
bro. You
quality.
cooked
I'd
me.
say the quality is better than a lot of those. It was not bad.
Yeah.
It was pretty
Yeah.
mediocre.
That's fair.
However, there was a burger sauce on the burger. That's what they called it.
Mm-hmm.
It was like an orange, like tangy sauce, and it was not like a Thousand Island. That was very nice.
Also, if you see me holding my drink, it's not because I'm an idiot. It's because I'm not trying to give any free advertising out.
Nah, I mean, like, let's see what kind of ad deals we can cut by accidentally just giving money away. Oh, wait, never mind. Put that away, Kylie. Get out of here.
I'm just trying to save the world. I'm just trying to end racism.
Yeah, why don't you just go walk up to a cop and not get beaten in the street for that?
Listen. You know what these Iranian players needed to do? They just needed to hand their government a Pepsi.
Of course. All problems would have been solved.
Yeah.
All right,
shit.
hey, you put something in the channel that I want to talk about right away.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right, you said competitive COD is a joke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what's going on
Have you
there?
seen this shit?
So
So obviously Activision or whoever the fuck is making these games now, right?
Okay.
They obviously do not care about having a competitive scene, which is fine.
To be fair, it's Activision Blizzard, which is owned by Microsoft now. Just
Okay.
spell that out very clearly.
So I guess I might as well just get to the short of it. Essentially, all the competitive COD teams were doing a gentleman's agreement. They had like a whole player chat with this, and they were trying to outright just ban all snipers from competitive play, and they wanted to ban smoke grenades as well.
I mean,
because
okay,
reasons I don't like. It just I don't know. It feels bad. Like my whole thought process is if you have to ban core parts of the game, like snipers are an entire classic gun, you know.
No, I get it. I mean, okay,
It's
so there's,
it was never meant to
hang
be
on,
an esport.
Let's create an allegory of this thing. Because here's the thing: I think neither you nor I understand the game of COD competitively in a way to speak on those two specific things being removed in a competitive scenario to like being like part of the metagame, right? Like, I don't think you and I know enough personally about the current games. I don't play COD at all. I hate COD actually. Yeah. But I don't want to be disrespectful to like what kind of things it can be. So to put a similar analogy in place, let's talk about something I know you and I both know about, which is Smash.
Yeah.
So in Smash, like in Brawl, they competitively banned Meta Knight back in the day.
Yeah.
And then in Smash 4, they banned like Bayonetta at a certain point from certain events.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
From certain events, okay.
Yeah, because of Baomir matches and the whole thing that happened on stage. There's different talks, different events having different like rule sets, right? So if the en masse of pros agree, like all of these pros.
I guess that's a key piece of context I left out. It was not all mass.
Oh, it was not
It
an
was
unmasked thing. Okay.
no, but they're gonna let it go through due to the minority of pros like bitching about. And the whole issue, from what I gathered, is snipers are one shotting. Which imagine Counter Strike without an op.
I mean, yeah, I get it. It's just
like, I don't know. It's like to me, it's like if you're taking core pieces out, like I think the thermal scope is also banned. Like certain attachments are banned, and it's just like like from my understanding, once you ban these things, the meta for Call of Duty was just two guns, the MP5 and M4.
okay.
So it's like, why are you banning this one gun if you're just gonna default to the two other less broken guns? You know, it just feels like a bad cop out, and like you're only hurting sniper players.
I'm trying to, yeah, I mean, maybe it's just that. Maybe it's that they don't enjoy I don't know what the percentage of pro players right now who are playing the game actively are snipers, though. You know what I mean?
I mean, but like
it's an incredibly small margin. What if it's 5%?
But here's the thing, like, all right, let's look at it this way. I think you and I can tentatively agree most league pros and personalities hate Yumi.
Correct.
Do you think if Riot would allow them to GA it, like just Yumi's out of pro play altogether, they'd probably do it. But it doesn't feel right.
They won't do it though.
You don't think if Riot gave them the opportunity of gentleman's agreement on certain champions, pros wouldn't hop on that shit?
No. No, I think this I think this exact world actually shows us the exact case study of why that doesn't happen. Because Yumi was 100% pick ban rate, and she had 95%. Or no, sorry, she was 95% pick ban, and she was 100% win rate.
Yeah.
So I think that whenever a champion mathematically is the best thing to play in the game that can offer you the highest chances of winning, I think not taking those things in the context of league is like insane.
Yeah.
I think that the translation. Let's go to Smash first, just because that's the allegory we had, right? I think the translation to Smash is different because you can play a different skill set character that is lower rated than another, but still outplay somebody mechanically raw. So there's always that. But then there is the issue when you translate that to COD, and that is that how is a map played? Like, how is the movement of a map played? Right?
It's search and destroy, so it's definitely slower than like what you normally see.
Right.
Of like streamers and stuff.
So is it slower in match with the snipers than it is without? Or is it now going to be a slower pace of game? Because here's the thing. If okay, here's my thought. If the game state while watching as a viewer is slow and boring, or it gets stale because of the snipers being too good, or these other issues, right? Of other things, like you talked about, like how thermal scopes or like certain other accessories are also banned as well. If the reason why those are banned is because they are unhealthy for the competitive environment, and it makes it too stagnant in certain ways, or it makes the gameplay too slow, or it makes it very boring to watch, or boring to play, then they have to look at those things. And I think that's probably where the same vein of thought came from the thermal scope in the past, as well as a sniper, if they're trying to get snipers banned. And the reason why I think would be just because if this is ruining the state of how the game is played competitively, and it's keeping the action low, and it's not rewarding many other people's play styles, I don't know.
It's definitely not that either, because like fans love it. Like fans love a guy. Let's be real, you see a guy get 4 fucking quick scopes in with his sniper to clutch around. Yeah. And you can tell like with the dialogue that was happening on social media, whether it be like TikTok comments, Reddit or Twitter, fans are just all like, this is a huge L for Call of Duty. This is why we never get past 40K viewers, because Like, remember when we talked about it a couple months ago, the Call of Duty World Major had 50K peak viewers?
Yeah.
It was the M4 MP5 meta.
Huh.
Like, I'm just saying, it's like, just because players get annoyed with something does not mean it should be banned. And if you're having this much issue dealing with it, it means you did not optimize the game to its fullest yet. Like, we see it with other esports, you know what I mean? Like, how many hours are Smash Brother players labbing every single frame to get the most optimal kind of punishes and plays? Same thing for Counter-Strike. How many people are learning lineups? Same thing for League. How many people are learning timings?
No, you're right.
And power spikes.
You're right.
So I think it just speaks to Call of Duty as an esport. Like, that's just not it. It's just not really one. It'll never be one.
Damn, dude. All right. Let's talk about something that I know a hell of a lot about.
Yeah.
That you need to be informed about.
Okay.
The second Korean exodus has come upon us.
Okay, let me hear this. Oh, because TL's doing like full Korean roster.
Well,
crazy.
That's not the craziest thing. I think because Summit's going to be the top laner for that. That's kind of crazy. That's Summit. So
Summit's good.
Yeah, Summit's back in the LCS basically, or not confirmed 100% yet, but he should be the top laner of TL. T's probably the jungler, but it's a whole Korean speaking roster. But the interesting thing is that he did not return to Korea like some other players are. It's rumored that who is it? Shit. Scout is returning to Korea apparently.
Good. He should.
Viper is back on Hanwha Life Esports, who is building a super team.
Ah, okay. That makes sense. Didn't they try that like a year or two ago as well?
2 years ago with Deft and Chovy are on that team.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, let's talk about a couple other things. Keen of a Freak of Freaks or Kwangdong Freaks, whatever you want to call them, he has finally left. He is going to KT Rolster. As well as BDD going to KT Rolster.
I love that. I love KT Rolster. I want him to be good.
I hope KT is very good this year. Now, here's a couple other things. Doran stayed with Gen G.
Good.
Okay, that makes sense there, but a lot of other Gen G is gone. We're going to see a little bit of shuffling. We'll see what happens there. I don't know where everyone's going to land, but Nongshim announced their roster, and they have 5 rookies.
I love that shit. Well,
that's where
Nongshim was like Nong shit last year, right?
So, I mean, yeah, they weren't great.
Yeah.
That's because the year before that, they had like the Gory year where Gory was LCK player of the split.
Yeah.
You had like Peanut before he rejoined Gen G there, like all that shit. Now let's talk about another team that's going to be popping the fuck off in Korea. Damwon. Damwon has announced their roster after Nuguri announced his retirement.
Nuguri's retiring?
Nuguri's retired.
Damn, how long was he a player for?
About 4 years, 5 years.
I feel like he could have kept going.
Probably, but it is what it is.
I will respect though, because I feel like a lot of pros like who come or like in LCK or EU come to NA when they plan on retiring pretty soon.
Yep.
And I respect him not doing that.
Wise choice indeed. Now let's talk about what Damwon has done with their roster now that Nuguri is gone. You have Decodom is out, the AD carry. He's gotten transferred somewhere else. You have Deft joining Damwon.
Okay.
Because DRX gone.
They can't afford him.
They can't. No, the whole roster. The whole roster's gone.
Yeah, they can't afford it.
Even Pioshik apparently is leaving Korea. He might be going to China.
Yeah.
Kana is going to be the top laner now for DRX, and then the coaching staff is Acorn and Gorilla. So Acorn was on Samsung Blue. He was the top laner in 2014. That was the team Deft was on when he reached semifinals, and then Gorilla's Gorilla.
See,
no explanation necessary.
Honestly, the only team that I care about their roster right now between LPL and LCK.
Yep.
OMG, and did they keep my boy in the top lane?
Yes,
to save their
we as discussed previously, Shanji is still there because he's on a long contract.
Yes, I love that shit. I love that guy.
Here's another couple ones for you. Zeka and Kingen. So the two solo lanes from DRX, they will be on Hanwha Life Esports next year.
Okay.
And last but not least, a little bit of more interesting thing. So TSM announced their roster today.
I was okay. I was gonna say this. Did you see the drama on their subreddit over the academy team?
I did, and that is what I really wanted to talk about. It was bait when I brought up their LCS team. Who cares? Although I will say I'm happy to see Solo on TSM. Playing on the LCS. He deserves to play LCS. He's good. He's always been good. He was the best NA top laner in 2020. By far. Because at Worlds, FlyQuest was the best performing team at Worlds.
Yeah.
Crazy how that worked. They actually almost had a tiebreaker and went to a situation where they could have advanced. And if they would have, he would have been given the respect he would have been deserving of the entire time. Now, let's talk about this Challenger roster, right? Because now Academy is gone, but Challenger exists again.
Academy's gone?
Yes.
They're not calling it that anymore?
No, because now it's C9 Challenger. You didn't hear about their roster. Their roster is a bunch of Azazel's playing support again.
Yeah, Azazel's on the team. It's fine.
You know what? Carry this part for a second. I gotta go take care of something really quick. Just 2 seconds.
So, I guess while he's gone, I'm gonna kind of explain what I think of the NA farm. First of all, there is no real NA farm system. You're not gonna find I think every split there will be maybe 3 players in each role that are actually worth taking a look at. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, and I don't mind players like Zazel. Oh, he's back. So I can
hear you all the time. You're good.
You can hear me all the time. So I don't mind players like Zazel and some experienced pros, vets being in Challenger because they're gatekeeping it. It's not a bad thing. Not every team can develop, and not every team should be developing talent. It makes sense why some teams want that veterans on their Challenger roster in case they need to come up. So, it's like a bench.
Let me share this sentiment. If they are gatekeepers, right? They are people who've achieved past great success, and you need people to supersede them to be greater than what they have ever been in their success in the LCS, to be a real contender at Worlds. The issue that we are always endemically dealing with, right?
Yeah.
If we would actually recognize the value of having incredibly talented pros in Challenger as well, to help also then take those few players, a great example is what this 100 Thieves roster is probably going to look like this year, right? It's allegedly...
It's just Closer.
It's Closer with Bjergsen and Doublelift, and then Tenacity and Busio. So what I'm saying is Tenacity and Busio have been in the development system for a while. And then that's the kind of thing, these are the kind of guys who you need them working with an older pro or two. Yes. And then when they come up to an older pro or two, and they know how to work with a more respectful, linear
I'm going to be listening. I just got to open my door for
do your thing. So the point here is that the NA system that seems to work well with developing talent, in League of Legends particularly, is when you have 2 to 3 very experienced players and 2 rookies of young talent. At best. The Jojo Pune Danny situation, also shout out to Danny not returning. Hope he's doing well. Hope that mental health comes around. I'd love to see him back one day. But if he also realizes he never wants to do that again, mad respect. Go out like a king, man. Be the prince of the pentakill, and then just go out like you were.
Go back to Fortnite if you want, man.
It's Jojo.
Oh, is that Jojo? Who's that? Oh, sorry. I think I don't know. I was going to try to make a comparison with CS, but I don't really know if there is one. It's very weird, the state of Counter-Strike right now, so we'll just ignore that for a little bit. We'll get to it later. But I have to agree, having a couple of veterans around, because there are just some things people don't do that only old players will still I don't know. I'm not super up to date with the league meta, but I feel older.
There's no tournament right now to actively say that there is a meta to study.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I don't know. It's I feel like a big thing that can come with having those veteran voices is confidence behind you. You know what I mean? If you're new to the LCS,
like a Biofrost. Think about Biofrost's career.
Yeah.
He literally was put with Doublelift, given a bunch of confidence, built up to be a
Like,
superstar, and he was for quite a while, and then he felled it off only a little bit. He's a hard worker, but you know,
like think of it that, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, so, like, say you're, I don't know, like maybe a mid laner and you want to roam, and like or you're a jungler and you want to roam, like you're speaking year one or whatever, right? And like you're like, hey, I want to, like, I'm thinking, can I do, like, I want to path mid lane, and you have Bjergsen, like, yes, you can do this, like, let's fuck them up, like,
yeah.
that's great. And then, like, say you want to be like, hey, I want to, like, can we start dragon, and you got like double lift, the fucking LCS goat, being like, we can do this, we can do this.
Yep.
Like,
Well, we'll see how it turns
I
out this year in literal context with how 100 Thieves plays out.
because, like, I don't think anyone's denying that these newer, like, players, like, don't have the mechanics. They do. That's all they have right now. You know
Well,
what
I
I
think
mean?
we're also starting to see that older players can have good mechanics too, and it doesn't
Faker,
matter.
Faker, like, it's like, we yeah, I talk about in CS, like, you can, like, Faker is finally doing that, where, like, he's establishing, like, you can be older and still be the top player.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. You just got to keep pushing, keep being good.
Fucking Forrest is still playing Counter Strike. You know what I
Forrest
mean?
is
Like,
fucking good though. Forrest is really fucking good.
he's usually topping his
Speaking
team,
of someone
like,
who is really fucking good, let's talk about your boy for a minute here. Cadian, the king. My man has won.
the motherfucking goat!
So, for those who don't know what we're talking about, in Counter-Strike, there was a blast premiere, and Heroic, Parm's favorite team, won.
First LAN S tier event victory for Cadian. He was getting called comedian for a decade. People hated him for not really too many good reasons, honestly. And everyone called them, like, onliners. And they finally do it. Not enough top 8 finishes at majors and other events could convince anyone. And then they go out and they beat the fucking FaZe clan, the best team on the year, in Denmark, in the Royal Arena, in front of all of those fans. Heroic is converting Denmark away from Astralis. You know what I mean? Like, a year ago, if
And
Heroic's, yeah, go ahead.
Cadian's mom was there.
Cadian's mom
And that
was there.
awesome Twitch clip was birthed, where it was like
Yeah.
the duality of IGL, basically.
Yeah.
Where he was very serious in the interview. His mom walks up on stage, she hugs him, he starts crying, like very sobbing almost. And he's very celebratory sobbing, happy, hugs, and then he goes back to the interview and he just goes straight back to being like not unemotional, but just very professional.
I mean, like, it speaks a lot to the culture Cadian created. Like, he talked about how, like, we could not do this if we were all not friends. They're the Bad News Eagles of tier 1. And, like, there's so many great storylines.
Well,
like,
there is a Shoosh, but there is no Juan Flatro.
Yeah, they have a Stown. And, like, let me tell you, like, the storylines around Stown this year, I think he's probably the most inspiring. Like, if there's ever going to be, like, an esport, like, player of the year,
sure,
I think it goes to him, because, like, I think in January of this year, I believe so, his brother, who introduced him to Counter-Strike and taught him the game, had taken his own life, I guess. Yeah. And, like,
no,
the
more
fact that
eloquent way to say that. Yeah.
I didn't know how else to phrase that.
It's okay. You're not being disrespectful by spreading information.
Yeah. And, like, just the fact that he was able to persevere like this, dedicate this win, like,
it's huge.
I don't know. It's just amazing.
That is amazing.
You can't be more proud of these guys. You can't. I don't know how people still hate this team after this.
I don't think you can. Absolute congratulations to Heroic. Big win.
They deserved it.
They did. They really did. And that is our last big CS event of the year.
It is.
So where do you think Kenny S is going to land?
He's already on a team. He's on Titans.
Oh, cool. I didn't see that. I didn't.
Oh yeah. It's like I think they're trying to do a French Last Dance.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it'll be good.
They just might.
It'll be hype. It'll be hype if he makes a major.
I mean, we saw Outsiders do the same thing. I mean, not the same thing, but like similar, you know?
Yeah, it'll be hype if Kenny S makes the major. It's in Paris, France. That's just going to be one of the largest home crowd buffs you can have. We see that the home crowd buff is real. Heroic finally overcoming that LAN hump in Denmark with everyone cheering for him. Obviously, there's some Kerrigan chants as well. Furia toppling Navi
Dude,
at
the
the Rio
Kerrigan
Major.
chance didn't have anything on Cadian's crowd work. That
Yeah,
guy, that would dude. When the match started, he sat down and did the claps, and that shit got me going right
oh
away.
yeah,
And I'm at home
dude,
by myself on a Sunday.
dude, I've been following this guy since 2019. This team since 2019. Like I don't know, dude. I like here's the thing,
Hype.
like the only like I credit him for my love of CS:GO. Watching him 1v5 clutch against Gambit to win ESL Pro League. Like, granted it was online, but like
That still goes hard,
he got a knife kill while doing it.
dude. Some people are just built different.
He like if he wins a major, he will be the GOAT IGL, I think. Because he put this team together. He's everything. This team is Cadian. I mean, obviously Stown and Shush and Yavi and everybody like and Tez has all step up. But I think if you asked all of them like who's the glue, that's a no-brainer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
I mean I already put him in a top 15 all time.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see
Yeah.
it. I put him in top 10.
You think?
I don't know shit, so yeah, why not?
That's fair. That's hey, I respect it.
All right, couple
what am
more
I saying?
things.
Top 1.
Whatever, dude. All right, let's talk about something else that's pretty tight too. Let's talk about this here Yu-Gi-Oh ban list. Did you see this?
Oh yes. They finally got rid of Mystic Mine.
They did ban Mystic Mine.
A month too late.
Agreed. We're in a tier 0 Shizu format, and I want to die.
Yeah, the mirror matches are the mirror matches for that I've seen of tier Shizu online and stuff have been very entertaining though. Like if there was a tier 0
so
meta,
many cards
the best one.
That's not true.
Because like you can
there are better tier there are better tier 0 metas.
I don't know. I guess now that I'm paying attention to competitive TCG,
yeah,
this is I
don't know. I enjoyed Pepe back in the day.
Oh yeah, you are a dirty pendulum player.
Hey, what can I say? Pre-link pendulums were the best.
Pre-link pendulums are good. But yeah, I think a lot of Yu-Gi tubers that I see are kind of agreeing that this meta is more refreshing than Mystic Mine and the other shit that was just super prevalent before.
Although they did take a few other floodgates off, but here's the big one that was for me. I was like, holy fuck. Teller Knight Ptolemaeus is unbanned completely for the first time in 6 years.
Yep.
Bro, rank 4s can make Cyber Dragon again. Let's go, baby! I don't care. I can play heroes with Cyber Dragon. I don't care how bad it is.
Do you want to hear the new tech option people have been running now?
Let's hear it.
Apparently, Dark Hole is become a 3 of inside decks.
I'm down with it.
Yeah, it's just cool. It's cool.
I love Dark Hole.
They'll probably Dark Hole. Yeah, I'm sure you do.
I like Dark Hole. I like Regeki. I like Harpy's Feather Duster. I like that change of hearts back in the game. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's go balls to the wall.
Do you think they just adopt the OCG?
No.
This for everything?
No, it'll never happen.
Well, because they get products sooner.
Yep.
So yeah, you're right.
What was I talking to? I was talking to Ruru the other day. Ruru's playing Master Duel a lot.
Yeah.
And he's playing like a Quintet Magician deck, and I was like, oh, I could dunk on you. Like I don't like what deck I play. I have a pendulum deck for fun.
Yeah.
And like I know it's not good, but I pilot it the way I like to pilot it.
Plus you got the Super Quantals.
I do have the Super Quantal deck. I forgot I built that one time. Oh god.
Yeah.
But
hot dog ass there.
I mean, hey, look, dude, I can make fucking Alphin.
Yeah, there you go.
And
dude, he was on Madolche's. He was literally on Madolche's last week.
Gross. But I was like, what are you? He's like, I'm playing Quintet Edition. I'm like, that's horrible. Like, just pick something better.
Yeah.
And then Jake messages me last night, though. It's not Duel Links, though. I'm talking about Master Duel. So that's the thing. If it was Duel Links, it'd be different. So Jake messages me last night. He's like, hey, I really want you to take a look at my Master Duel decks. And I'm like, all right, I mean, I could probably help. And he's like, cool. I have a Cyber deck I'm building. I'm using Cyber Dragon. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. I love that deck. And then he's like, and I'm also building Tunes. And I'm like, I will not help you build Tunes.
No,
and he's just like, why? I'm like, Tunes are booty cheeks ass bad. I will not help you waste your time making a deck list for some like barely functional piece of garbage. So okay,
for an archetype that only has 2 monsters that can attack the turn they're summoned.
So let me tell you a little story back in the day about my 2015, 2016 Yu-Gi-Oh days. Yeah. So this is when I would play.
Don't have extra deck monsters either, do they?
Not really.
They don't have any, I don't think.
You can like get access into seizing pretty easily. And
Yeah,
you
but like,
could
there's no
there's
rank
no
tune
tunes,
next
but like
to. Yeah.
you could I theoretically you could work like
Rank
links.
7 turbo.
You could do ranks, you could do links, and you could do technically like synchro if you worked,
If you
some
splash
tuners
some
in.
tuners in it,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's some good tuner engines that can work pretty well. Not really too many though, honestly. So let's just talk about this though. So back in the day when I used to play regularly, I'd play 3 times a week guaranteed, if not
Mm-hmm.
4. So I would play on Sundays with a friend or two, on Wednesdays at a card shop, on Thursdays at a community college, and then on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So I played like fairly frequently, and if I wasn't playing on those days, I was probably playing online. Some days I would play in person and then go play online. But
Yeah.
when I went to this community college on Thursdays, there was always this guaranteed group of people there, and I was like probably the best, if not the second best player in that group of people.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly just because I actually played like meta. I was playing
Yeah.
I was playing like metal foes.
There
Like
you go, yeah.
I was playing like really like it was like right around the zoo time too. So I was like playing
Okay.
like there was people who were playing like zoo, but they were playing like shitty versions of zoo, not like actual built out ones or like.
Oh, you mean people didn't want to drop $500 on Exceeds like you are?
I mean, listen, if you want to play the paper game, that and like you, unless you're like in that situation, you could have played proxies though. Like that would have been totally
Yeah.
fine. People did play proxies and it was fine too, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't want to play full zoo. I wanted to play Metal Foe, honestly, because I liked
Yeah.
Metal Foe just a lot.
And they're cheap.
They were pretty cheap on release time, even. Yeah,
They're
like the
low
only thing.
rarity cards.
I mean, in the second release, when you had like Alcahest and other stuff come out, it got a little more pricey.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but to build the deck for the extra deck cards though, it did get expensive. Because you
Yeah,
were talking
extra
like,
monsters are usually
well, you were
like
talking like
$2.
Phantom Knights, Swordbreaker, like at like peak pricing. Like I sold, dude,
Yeah.
when I sold my collection and I sold it, my break sword literally got me the most money individually, like pound for pound
Yeah.
card. It was insane. Anyways, so there was this dude who would like play, and he had like some good decks, but he would always want to play you with his like really good deck first, and then he'd be like, "Well, I'll play tunes. I want to play my tunes. I got to test them out." And I'm just like, "Don't waste my time on this."
Yeah.
And he's just like, "What?" I'm like, "I am here to test, essentially. Like,
Yeah.
I'm here to play, so I can test shit on. Like, I go to a tournament the night before, so that's like the end cycle of my week of playing to that test, and then Thursday starts my testing, right?
Yeah.
And like playing against tunes is just like, I don't know. They don't have anything in their kit that like even slows you down remotely. It's just like clogging your own board and making yourself play slower to play your dumb shit engine. And like
Do you
can't.
want to hear the?
I mean, what?
I'm
Go
so
ahead.
sorry. Go.
No,
Finish, finish.
no.
Okay,
Good.
sorry. Just this talking about. So like, probably the last. This is the last time I ever went to a tournament.
Yeah.
Like a local card shop one, and this was around when the Shadow Elemental Hero Shadow Mist was in that booster or not booster structure deck.
2014.
Okay, yes. And I remember
It was
like
Shadow Mist
there was,
Darklaw. Yeah.
I was doing pretty good. I was like 1-0, and then I like get paired up against this kid who's like probably like 11, like pretty young, right?
Yeah.
And his dad was there. I'll never forget this. Guess what that fucking father named legally named his child?
Doorknob.
Merrick.
Oh. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And right before the next round goes, and like I'm just sitting across from the kid to get ready or whatever, and he's like, "Hey, like what decks do you have?" And I'm like, "I have my Melodious deck that I'm working on right now, not finished, and then like the deck I'm playing with." He's like, "Oh, do you want to do like a 4 fun duel with your Melodious deck and test it?" I was like, "Yeah, that sounds fun." And then he like beats me in that first game, and he runs up to the judge and tells him, "Hey,
he's not playing his tournament deck. He's playing a different one."
He ran it up to the judge, and he was like, either he has to play the whole set like this, and I was just like, what? And then the kid's dad was like, "Hey, Merrick, that is literally the scummiest thing. No." And like he just had his kid forfeit.
Oh, that's good on the dad.
Yeah. I was like, "Hey, you're a fucking idiot for naming your kid that. He's gonna get brutally bullied." But like, hey.
I mean, he also might send some people to the Shadow Realm.
True.
Also, I genuinely considered naming our child Merrick at one point, so.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
it's a cool name.
I I like the name you guys picked out better.
I mean, I do too. I think Soren's a better name,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's a good reference. And Merrick is also just actually like a good character,
Yeah, he is. He is.
like one of the
But yeah,
better ones at
fuck,
least.
fuck you, Merrick. Fuck you, you little shit.
That's good on the dad though, because the dad probably A, liked Yu-Gi-Oh enough to like name his son that, and B, when he taught his child the love of the game, also taught him how to respect the game,
Yeah.
and like didn't just let him be like, oh, you piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like,
W dad.
yeah, shout out to that guy.
Yeah.
Damn, that goes hard actually. Like I really thought you would be like the dad was just like gonna dogpile it and be the same way.
No. The dad was like, dad took my side. He was like, that's not what happened. Yes. I mean, the kid was on fucking light swords in 2014. Like,
why are you playing Dogsworn, dude? Shut the fuck up.
like, I don't know,
Ew.
man.
Bro, Lightsworn was good for 5 minutes, and that was because it was trying to eclipse Blackwings. And because we hit a nerf on a ban list, and then they got Judgment Dragon. Ooh.
Hey,
Fuck that.
I dogpiled him after that, though.
Those are the two eras I played. I played fucking Synchros, like when Blackwings were big, and I played Pendulum for like, and then Heroes for 2014. Those were like the big.
Man, Heroes without Stratos.
Heroes with Stratos now. Bro, I played Heroes. There was like a frog hero meta.
Oh, frogs.
The frog hero deck was good. God, those were some great times.
Dude, frogs are coming back with Sprite.
But now I don't have to play frogs in my hero deck and Bahamut Shark, and now I can just play Cyber Dragon package.
Yeah.
So instead of playing 2 cards, I can play 3 cards. Oh wait, that's not good.
That's not good.
I mean, it's also kind of okay.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
It's alright. I don't know. Sprite meta's here. So.
Yeah, I've had it up to somewhere with this meta already. I'm kind of glad the ban list is coming through when it's coming through. You know what's funny? We never said the controversy around the TSM roster for Academy or Challenger. So let's say Hanser, Sven Skaren, and Wild Turtle are all allegedly playing for their Challenger team.
Who fucking cares? Like, I think that's good.
That's great. Bring them back, maybe.
Yeah.
Give me something, bro. I on weekends. Well, I will watch LCS for the hype Bjergsen and Doublelift matches, and then I'll occasionally tune into Challenger when TSM is playing, just to be like, how's Kevin doing? How's Sven Skaren doing? What's Jason Wild Turtle Trans smiling like today?
All those guys are gonna try to play to get back on stage because this is essentially like
that's
TSM's bench.
Well, that's also what C9's doing. They have like Zazel, but they also have a bunch of other players who are actual like accomplished players who are trying to get back into LCS, like Fake Gods playing on their LCS roster.
Yeah.
So people are trying to, like, be competitors. And actually, I was watching C9's little press release thing, and Jack said something kind of profound, talking about, like, how Zazel was going back to playing pro rather than coaching, and talking about how these players are basically, like, they're going to be the players who need to work the hardest. And the reason why they need to be the players who work the hardest is because if they're trying to take the LCS players' jobs, if they're not working harder than every LCS player, then there's no way they're ever going to take those positions. And I was like, you got it. And that was where I started believing in the whole, like, if we insulate our academy and challenger scene with old pro players who are very accomplished and are very skilled still, there's nothing but benefit to it.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, and Jack doesn't fuck around with that hard work stuff. It's like if players are not buying in
10 a.m. workout, dog. System, 10 a.m. workout.
Yeah, if you're not buying into that shit, we saw it. What year was it? Like 2019, where he benched all 5 starters.
It was 2018, I think. That was the sneaky year, right? It was Sneaky and Jensen
last year.
Yeah. It was 2018.
Yeah. Where he benched all 5 of them because Reaper was like, yo, they're literally not putting in the work.
It's unfortunate that won't matter because FlyQuest is just now the best team in the LCS.
What is their roster?
I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, it's Impact, and then Spica, and then Gory, Prince, and then whoever their support is. I'll have to check that out.
I like that. Actually. I want FlyQuest to do well.
I think they could be on paper the best team individually.
Yeah. I want that org to grow big. I like FlyQuest. I like their messages. I like how they're all like
Save
environmentally. Yeah, exactly. Plus their merch is sick. They have some of the
Impact
best merch.
Spica. Oh, sorry. It's Impact Spica, Vikla, Prince, and Ayla. Ayla was the support for Team Liquid last year who filled in for Core JJ. He was the best support in Academy by far too. So.
Oh yeah.
And also here's the big thing. Prince was he was the AD carry that was popping off in Korea last year.
Oh, okay.
And then Vikla was the rookie of the summer split on KT Rolster.
Yes.
So these are like incredibly up and coming Korean players. Ayla is fluent in Korean. And for the record, if you didn't see who the general manager of the whole esports side of things is, Papa Smithy. Fresh off of his, he left 100 Thieves. He's really? The director. Yeah, he's like the director of games for FlyQuest. Because FlyQuest is under new ownership though. That's the thing. So when they went into this new ownership, apparently there's a lot of cash to flow around, and that's why they're like the big spenders this year compared to everybody else.
Makes sense.
They're looking to make a big splash here. There was also a really funny tweet right before we got on here, and I was about to send this message to you, but then I found out it was a bait. CLG posted something about like a thank you message about all 5 of their players, and everyone's just like, what the fuck? There's no way they can't be releasing this. No one's had any news on this happening. They sent them to fucking Korea yesterday. It's a huge fucking troll, dude. It's a massive troll.
Like that CLG roster is nice.
They're fine.
Like, that's a core you keep. Like they did.
I mean they had their miracle run. I don't think they exceed that ever again. I think CLG will end up being 7th or 8th to 10th, basically, with the bottom of the barrel being like Immortals. And
it's always fun to see what like the preseason projections are like.
Well, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Not to take this away from esports, but I remember like for like the NFL this year.
Yeah.
The preseason was like Cowboys, donkey ass, Giants, donkey ass, Commanders, donkey ass. Like NFC is just donkey ass. Yeah. And now that entire division could make, if the season ended right now, that whole division makes playoffs.
Wow. I didn't know that was the situation going on for the foosball, but that's good to know.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy. You look at it, you're just like, how the fuck are these Goombas doing it? And they just
sports
doing it.
do be crazy, brother. Sports do be crazy. Damn.
The Giants, especially, bro. Like, I'm just saying it right now. They're having an insanely similar season to their 2008 Super Bowl run.
Nice. Speaking about taking it back,
the minute details.
So let's take it to one more thing before we end and wrap up here. Taking it back to 2008, real quick. All right. Okay. If you didn't see this on our Ideas channel, this is a very serious thing. To commemorate the 17th anniversary of the release of the Xbox 360. It is a peripheral maker called Hyperkin is officially releasing they were resurrecting the Xbox 360's console's controller. There's a wireless version that you can use for your Xbox.
Oh, that's sick.
Bro, you can play every modern game on an Xbox 360 controller. Think about that for a second.
I don't know what that does. Like, what's different about using any other controller?
Do you know how the current Xbox controller looks like compared to the 360?
I have no idea. I don't play consoles.
I used to have. I mean, I still have one. I just don't use it. It's much wider and it's much like bulkier. And the 360 had just a much better hand feel.
So it's like harder to claw then.
You can't even claw it at all.
You can't claw?
Not as easily.
Man,
not like the way you used to really claw. You know what I mean? When you were clawing it before, it was like that natural claw feel.
Like,
you know?
Yeah. Like when I would claw,
you know how you could wrap around when you claw back in the day. Like
yeah.
The last digit of your finger kind of wraps around the claw of it or whatever. Yeah, that does not happen naturally.
So
on
do you want to know the way
Xbox
I
One
clawed?
Controller.
So the way I'd clawed, I'd have my index finger and it would rest over triangle, square, and X or whatever, or that side of the buttons.
Yeah.
And like I would just minutely move my finger to press them.
Huh. Neat.
Yeah.
You're a very dexterous little man.
These fingers are magic.
Whoa, and with that, we're going to wrap it up. All right, everyone. Magic fingers and all. Have a good night. Another episode of 1 to 10. Goodbye.